Nimevumilia sana, utaki change na wana umeshindwa kubadilisha. I got to go, kanguwe, I let you go. Mkwano unaniumiza sana, ninateseka ndani moyoni mimi nauma. I got to go, kangende, I let you go. Sitaweza. Nimevumilia sana, utaki change na wana umeshindwa kubadilisha. I got to go, kanguwe, I let you go. Mkwano nunya pete ya rusini nayo kidole, nilikupenda my baby sorry, utapata mwengine don't you worry. Watoto tumeza tuna wote yale, tulipanga mimi na wewe milele, lakini nini unanichanganya. Maisha wote wawili tulipanga, shida ni nyingi hatujakusanya. Haingekuwa hivyo unapenda upendi, mpenzi tuachane na hivyo. Unaniumiza sana, ninateseka ndani moyoni mimi nauma. I got to go, kangende, I let you go. Sitaweza. Nimevumilia sana, utaki change na wana umeshindwa kubadilisha. I got to go, kanguwe, I let you go. Mkwano unaniumiza sana, ninateseka ndani moyoni mimi nauma. I got to go, kangende, I let you go. Sitaweza. Nimevumilia sana, utaki change na wana umeshindwa kubadilisha. I got to go, kanguwe, I let you go. Mkwano kinibati unayempenda sana, popata alipo haitweza beli, atakula za mtu anakula zake sipo. Nipe changu na mimi nikupe chako, kama unipendi hilo ni pako. We got a lot of issues to settle, pamoja twende mseto. Love me baby, I will love you back. Scratch my back, I will scratch your back. Not this way unapenda upendi. Unaniumiza sana, ninateseka ndani moyoni mimi nauma. I got to go, kangende, I let you go. Sitaweza. Nimevumilia sana, utaki change na wana umeshindwa kubadilisha. I got to go, kanguwe, I let you go. Mkwano unaniumiza sana, ninateseka ndani moyoni mimi nauma. I got to go, kangende, I let you go. Sitaweza. Nimevumilia sana, utaki change na wana umeshindwa kubadilisha. I got to go, kanguwe, I let you go. Mkwano nunya tuliamua tuwe together, mimi na wewe tuwe forever. Ni yetu, mimi na wewe na watoto wetu, tupambane shida zote za nyumbani tusimalize now. Girl, every woman for a man, love me I love you back and not what I want. Girl, it's another tune than me sing about a tune than this one girl. Girl, never worry about it, every time you come up I'm gonna sweet it. This man, bad man, I'm music and unaniumiza sana, ninateseka ndani moyoni mimi nauma. I got to go, kangende, I let you go. Sitaweza. Nimevumilia sana, utaki change na wana umeshindwa kubadilisha. I got to go, kanguwe, I let you go. Mkwano unaniumiza sana, ninateseka ndani moyoni mimi nauma. I got to go, kangende, I let you go. Sitaweza sana.
Welcome on the official news outlet of the Liberia Public Radio.com, LPR. Welcome on the official news outlet of the Liberia.
Good evening, folks. Sam Sinto, LIBERIA Public Radio again. We're going to be on it again this evening. We'll say thank you for joining us this evening. It's going to be a wonderful show. Sam Sinto. Okay, folks. Yes. I hope you're getting me. We want to thank all of you again this evening. It's a wonderful thing to have you with us here this evening. We say thank you. I'm trying to adjust my stuff. This show is going to be rocking here tonight. Truthfully, it's going to be rocking. I want to thank all of you again for tuning into LIBERIA Public Radio. There are some wonderful news coming from Liberia, not necessarily of the election, but the process itself. I hope the momentum of providing peace for our brothers and sisters to walk in the ring to cast their vote, which is an individual God-given right established by the state, by the way. But however, the opportunity was there for everyone to cast their vote, and I want to thank the people of the Republic of Liberia. The plebeians of the Republic of Liberia. I want to thank all of you again for making us proud, no matter what. Here in this United States, if Sam Sinto is not careful, what come out of this mouth, you can find me in Liberia tomorrow. Not here. Not in Liberia. In Liberia, we have the freedom to express ourselves. Yeah, you do here as well. But look how much issues that is going on here in the United States. Folks, I want to take my hat off for the Liberian people again. You guys have continued. If for some reason you continue to, do more than you did yesterday, and it's just wonderful to know. Those of us that consider ourselves political junkie, not taking side, but people are accused of taking both sides. So that's for me, not taking side. I really appreciate. This is what I've been preaching, and I keep saying the best day of Liberia is way ahead of us. If you look at the polling station today, if you look at the people that were participating in the polling process, the voting process, folks, you're not going to find anybody Samson age standing in line. Those were all young people that are gearing up to lift this country up, folks, and that's why we cannot afford to make any mistake. And I want to thank everybody. That's Dr. Weah. I also want to thank Dr. Weah and the people of the Republic of Liberia. Under his leadership, the opportunity for people to cast their vote were provided. Dr. Weah, thank you very much. We appreciate it. You're still the president. Thank you very much. The opposition party that came up and even allowed their children to participate in the process. We want to thank you guys. It was hectic. It was very tense. Things were very tense. Some of us a little bit concerned. But knowing how much you guys have come from the other time when you have a protest, when many of me was almost become a preacher overnight, praying here, and yet still God was able to help us for you guys to have a protest and nothing happened. So we were starting to build a confidence little by little in your ability to make decisions as Liberians. Thank you. Even though we're not there, but we're still proud of you. We're very much proud of you. I take my hat off again for those of you participate. Even if you didn't, the fact that you didn't stop your boyfriend, girlfriend, wife, woman, man, husband, children, everybody that participated, I want to thank all of you. We say thank you very much, folks. This is Sam Sinto, LIBERIA Public. It's a wonderful thing. What I'm not going to do here tonight is different. But before that, let me go to my usual stuff. This is Dr. Weah, the President of the Republic of Liberia. Let us not forget that. And during the campaign season, Dr. Weah, and these are some of the things when the inauguration program started. I would say here, perhaps I'm putting my mouth in my foot in my mouth again, folks. But that doesn't stop me before. I've always put my foot in my mouth. Anyway, who cares? But during the election, and Dr. Weah was able to go in the countryside to actually feel what the country people were feeling in terms of rural connectivities and the bad roads in those villages. And I think from there, people really pay attention to his ability to lead. And so when the inaugural program started, the stadium, I was there, I saw it. The stadium was jam-packed. There was no place to stand. People were all on the field. That's how much Liberian was anxious to see this young man taking the leadership from Madame Salif. Okay. However, I'll just make that point very quickly. If you compare pictures now, if you try to do crowd size like Donald Trump would do, then I think this July 26 crowd size is a little bit disappointing. I'm not too sure what was the reason, but brothers and sisters didn't show up, and I'm not too sure whether the fee was just far away from a lot of people. But then you say, but Mr. Toe, it's not the same fee that people use for the inaugural program and play with pie. Then what you have fee far away? Folks, I gotta get out of this one. I told you I was putting my foot in my mouth. I have to try to get out of this. So please, don't question me too many times. I said maybe the fee was too far away. Maybe a lot of people didn't get gas. Maybe people were hating. Some of them were walking the storm. Their toe were hating. They can't walk back to the inaugural program. I mean to the 26th. So please let me step out of this one so I can do my program. Samson, I just give it to you. I put my foot in my mouth and I didn't know how to get out of it, and so I worked my way around it. But thank you very much for staying with us here this evening, folks. We're going to enjoy ourselves. We're going to enjoy ourselves. I say now, let me just go. The election, let me go straight to the election, folks, and this is not what I'm going to be concentrating on here tonight. Once again, I want to thank the Liberian people for the peaceful demonstration of actually conducting an election without us going and borrowing people to come and supersede and what have you. Thank you. We appreciate it. However way the result comes up, we appreciate it. I don't know. I'm not going to concentrate on who's winning and who's not winning. I'm not going to do that because I depend on the national. We have a national election commission, and hopefully they will come out and tell us who the winner will be. At that point, I will do my best to congratulate the winner. I'm not going to congratulate anybody based on Facebook. I can stay here right now and say I got $5 million in my pocket. How you know I don't get on air? I can tell you that. I hear you say you're not getting it. You know that. So I'm not gonna base my program to congratulate winners based on Facebook and what have you. But however, the process was very good. I mean, if you were watching Henry Costa's show today, it was animated. I mean, you can't hide that. You can't hide that. The brother was beating his chest. And I told you guys here before when I did the Henry Costa, I did a piece on here one time, and I explained to you who I thought he was, and I think that's exactly what these are emotional time. If you want to know how much Henry Costa has invested, personally invested, not money, I mean emotionally invested into Liberian situation. Immediately after the protest, there were people that were jumping ship, calling him names and what have you. He couldn't sleep, and that night he made a video. Go research that video. Pretty much in tears, crying. What have I done? I thought all I tried to do is to help. And that's how much emotionally the young man has invested his time into this. And so however way he expressed it, we say fine. The sedition, on the other hand, were also expressing victory, and we say fine. I will not pronounce or not congratulate anybody until I hear from the National Election Commission. Let me go now to, I have two subject matters here tonight. But one thing I want to point out here very quickly, those of us that follow Facebook, the jubilation and the dancing and whatever is happening in Liberia, I frown on that. They have the right to do it, but I frown on that. I frown on it because the Election Commission has not submitted any kinds of result to the Liberian people. Now you're going around claiming victory, dancing here and there. Why, if the result comes tomorrow and you are not the victor, if you didn't win, will you accept the result? Will your people able to, now that you have gotten your people so riled up and believing that they have won? I'm not too sure from what perspective. I'm not in Liberia, so I don't know. Maybe they have good reason. But why, if the tally comes from the Election Commission, turn out to be not what you think it is? Because none of you you, none of these people that are claiming victory have the authority to announce to the Liberian people that they have won. And you say, but Mr. Toh, here in the United States, after election, people know immediately. The press go and do their prediction and what have you. Yes, but we saw what happened with Bush and Al Gore. These things not can happen except these people are sophisticated enough. Do we have that kind of sophistication in Liberia in terms of human ability to withstand pressure? If this thing turns around not to be what is being jubilated, people dancing, if it's not like that, will you not go and start burning people, the election commissioner houses and things like that? This is, I frown on it. I frown on it, to be honest with you. I'm not, whatever, even if I'm frowning on it, that's not going to change the result. But I think our brothers and sisters, whether it be a sedition or opposition, you should have the mindset to say, okay, the election have happened. Let's wait for the result, and then we will announce it. This is not about who from. We're all from the same area. And next week I will be doing a whole show here that shows you the connection we all have, how much each of us has suffered. As indigenous Liberians, and even those who suppress us, they themselves suffer as well, because in order for you to suppress somebody, knowing fully well that when you're suppressing somebody, that behavior is not conducive to yourself, it's also unhealthy for you. So those of you that are suppressing people, you are also suffering, because you know that not is human behavior, and so you're not in a good condition to make sound judgment, and so your judgment becomes flawed, your judgment becomes cloudy, and so you're unable to carry on your day-to-day ability as a human being. Because why? You're doing something contrary to God, and you're doing something contrary to human ability to survive. So I will go through that next week. Tonight, now that I've talked about the election, I have, like I said, that's about all that I'm going to say about this election. I will wait until I get my result, then I'll come out here and give you my analysis and everything, what went wrong, what I think went wrong, what I think went right, who did what, and what have you. I'm putting videos together, and based on the evidential videos that I've called it evidential videos, I will be able to come out and analyze. And I'm hoping that when I'm analyzing based on the video that I'm going to be showing you and clip I'm going to be showing you from time to time, that perhaps I will do my best to convince you. Hopefully you will agree with me, but that's not what I'm going to come out here for. So this is all that I'm going to say about the election. I want to thank all of the participants from CDC, from the opposition. Thank you guys very much. Thank you. I know it was hectic yesterday. A lot of people got hurt. Yes, I think it was yesterday. A lot of people got, no, Saturday, I think it was. A lot of people got hurt and what have you, and it wasn't necessary. But that's part of the growing up. We're all learning. We're learning. These things are foreign to us. Even though we've been in existence since 18 something. But those that were ahead of us did not allow those type of democracy tendency to flourish. They did not allow it to permeate all over Liberia. They did not allow it to percolate all over Liberia. So Liberians are now trying to soak in the benefit of true democracy. So we're still learning. We'll get there. With the young people that we have today, it won't take us long. Look among you here in the diaspora. When you're having an election, how much young people go and have a debate and talk about the issues? They don't talk about something to man. They don't talk about something to power. They talk about the issue affecting their community. That, folks, are the people, are these young people are the people that will be there tomorrow. And with that kinds of learning ability that they are getting through now, hopefully those type of behavior will be transferred to Liberia, and we'll be ready. We will be ready. All we pray is that for some of us to be alive so that we will be able to see these young people truly demonstrate their talent of leading. Liberia today, the future is brighter than what it is now. Liberia future, to be honest with you, those of us that are involved in these social media and talking to these young people from time to time, of course, sometimes I get in there myself, get into it. They call me names, and I call them names. We have it on and on. However, we never lose sight of the fact that we are Liberians, and the respect that is due. We can argue on issues. We can argue on issues, but we do not disrespect each other. There have been few instances and things like that, but those are the way. Those are French side. And sometimes Samson told, that's why they call me Bloku, because I have to put on this elephant skin if I'm going to be dealing with these young people, because sometimes they come with spear, big time spear. And with the elephant skin, what can spear do to me? Nothing. Let's go on. Samson told LIBERIA Public Radio, folks. Like I said, this is going to be a very juicy show here tonight. So quite recently, there was an issues. Just not too long ago, the Liberian diaspora, they got hold of some news coming from Liberia, where they, according to them, the Liberian government want to raise the fee that you pay to send money back home. To send money back home to your relatives. And instead of giving your relatives 75% or whatever, they want to give 75%, and then the 25% in Liberian dollar, they want to get 100% of whatever you send. In US, they want to give it in Liberian dollar. And people are not quite happy about that. And those are things that I want us to pay attention to, these things, because they're going to affect us. They're going to affect us. Okay? All right, folks. So I'm gonna be looking at that here tonight as well. I'm also going to be looking at the speech that Madam Bue gave. I thought it was wonderful. I thought the speech, and that's the speech that I'm going to concentrate most of my time on tonight, the election and what have you. Especially the process of jubilating before you get the result. Apparently, those who are doing it didn't listen to Madam Bowie then. Then I will try to repeat that here tonight as well. So let me go on. Let me go on and read this article. Okay. Let me go on and read this article. It's a very interesting article, folks. Samson told LIBERIA Public Radio. These are things we do, and sometimes we find ourselves things become difficult for us, because the Liberian economy is also being supported by Liberians in the diaspora. Now, why will you not? We see these are kinds of stuff that I keep saying. Disrespect cause people to come up with ruling, cause people to actually fight. Disrespect. A government republic of Liberia, majority of the people that are working for the government republic of Liberia, they used to be with us here in the diaspora. You're going to pass this rule, you know very well. These are, sometimes that's why I'm going to be putting my mouth on the finance minister again tonight. These are kinds of stuff that the person who thinks ahead of time will not allow these kinds of stuff to run away from them. First of all, you come and make a tour in the United States, and make a tour in Europe, make a tour all over Australia and things like that, warning Liberians, knowing fully well that 25 or 30% of the GDP comes from us. If you're going to make that kinds of ruling, come and consult with us. Come and consult with our leadership and say, folks, these are the kinds of things that we're thinking to do. And here are the reasons. And let the Liberian diaspora think through. It won't be long. They're most likely, when they find out that you're doing something that will be helpful, beneficial to the Liberian, they will agree. Because every one of these Liberians that are all over this world, every one of those Liberians wants something better for the country. But you're going to sit there, and these are some of the things Madam Bowie talk about. And I will address that. You said there, I'm in position. I'm ruling. I am the leader. I'll make my decision. No, it don't work like that all the times, especially in terms of this kinds of money issue. Let me read this. Leaders of Liberia in the diaspora representing the major Liberian region umbrella organization around the world have issued unanimous stance with the resolute warning announcing the suspension of remittance to Liberia if plans are implemented by government to dramatically change the rate of exchange of remittance sent to Liberia from 75% United States dollar to 100% Liberian dollar. And according to these brothers and sisters that are in the back home, they have a reason. Folks, I'm not going to sit here and say they don't know what they're doing. These people are educated, just like you. They must have a reason. And they explain that here. But my point is, in order for you to do these kinds of stuff, the money that coming into Liberia, and not falling from the sky, airplane not just flying over Moray and Blue, they drop it. They know where it come from. You cannot behave like that to people, your brothers and sisters. And these are kinds of stuff, those that are in leadership continue to have issues. And as a result of that, Dr. Weah is going to continue to feel the pain. Because they are not doing a good service to Dr. Weah and the people of Liberia. If you're going to enforce that rule, you have the right. It is your government, it is executive. You make rules, executive order, whatever it is. However, you do not control my pocket. And if you think that something don't let his son suffer, I can send my son to Ivory Coast to go get money. What make you think people? I can send my son to Guinea to go get money. I can send my son to Sierra Leone to go get money. What are you gonna do? You're gonna black. You know the. Let me get to you on the Liberian side, man. Small. Y'all can do something that can really take people. You know how many poor Ebola we have between Grand Guinea and Ivory Coast? If I start walking from Tota, I tell my son, go through one place. You able to catch him? You able to catch him? He come from two place. He even come to the mirror. He go through Basobli and go through one place before you go into town with money in your hand. What you do? Nothing. But then the money that you supposed to get, the Ivorian gonna get it. The Guineans gonna get it. The Sierra Leonean gonna get it. What part of it you don't understand? You're ready to make decisions. You don't think. And these are kinds of stuff that continue to affect this country. And that's what I keep telling you guys this. They have nothing to offer, but they will continue to find enemy of the state. And if Dr. Weah is not careful, unless he doesn't care about his legacy, he might not even have a legacy to talk about, except negative legacy. And these are kinds of stuff, those of us that continue to promote the pro-poor agenda because we believe in it. You have to stick with it. In the pro-poor agenda, these things were discussed. That if a ruling, a significant ruling that's going to affect the diaspora, that the diaspora will be part of the conversation, is in the pro-poor agenda. Did they come and consult anybody here? If they did, maybe because way in here, Sacramento, nobody know about me also. But those are the kind of stuff. You have a decent, real good blueprint, and you pull it aside. Then you say you're going to build a house based on put your thumb up. Survey. Oh yeah, it lined up. You know, them tone, yeah, and the other tone, you know, I put it together. They're not even the same, and they're coming from the same body. Why do we do these kinds of stuff to ourselves? And now, the leadership are now threatening. If this ruling go on, they will ask their people not to send money. There will be some people that will still send money, but you're not going to get as much as you used to. There will be reduction. And you don't want that. All because you feel you are in power, whatever you say, people should follow it. It can't happen like that. Not even total, my man. What's wrong with you? And these are kinds of stuff that we'll continue to talk about. These are the problems that we'll continue to face in Liberia. You get in power, that was time, man. And Leonard will talk about that. But I used to talk about that too. But I said, if you call me to come get speak, you know, if they want to call me to come, I don't know English. I'm so crowd going to be speaking. Mo ablion da ba boy da nja mo abo chede nwe da gara ja mo abo nyon wuri de da gara ja mo asanyon wuri sompun nyon gbade mo agbe nwe mu no fo won di wuri no mu no fo won di wuri no mo ase o that the kind of thing I was going to say something too. Okay, not just that. Let me clear the air a little bit. Okay. Samson told LIBERIA. But on a very serious note, these things are not unique to Liberia. These things happen all over the world. But when you have the experience, you try to apply that. You want to tell me that people at Samuel Tour, they ain't get no college degree? That's what you want to tell me? You all want to tell me people that using that way, then they ain't get college degree? That's what you want to tell me? You want to tell me people that Nantano Maki, then they ain't got no college degree? Even Dr. Weah ain't get no college degree? That's what you want to tell me? These people are educated, folks. But for them to apply that process, I think that's the problem everybody facing. So once again, I just thought that I'd throw that in there. In a swift but strong warning statement issued over the weekend, the leaders declare. Okay, who are the leaders? Let's look at the leader, folks. Let's look at the leaders, those that put their name to this. The declaration was contained in a joint statement issued by the All Liberian Conference of Diaspora Leaders, which includes EULA, European Federation of Liberia Association, Federation of Liberian Community in Australia, Conference of Liberian Organizations in Southwestern United States, United Liberian Association in Ghana. Those are the people that are involved. So once again, even if the people ain't come out to make that ruling, you see, Liberian here in the diaspora, I will send money to my son. I send $100. Then you go give Liberian $100. Is that how it's gonna work? What if the man say, I want Liberian money? He allowed to ask for US because US currency is being used in Liberia. But if you were to have a consultation, come over here, go all over the world, and deal directly with the Liberians, those that are going to be affected. And your good reasoning you have, put it out there. What you got to hide? Put it out there and say, this is the reason. Let the people hear you reasoning. Why? And if they don't agree with you, they will tell you why they don't agree with you. And eventually there will be a meeting point. But you come down, boom, you knock the gavel. Then what is the reason now? The only option they have is to withdraw their support. Is that what you want? I'll leave it as that. Samson told LIBERIA Public Radio. I'll leave it as that, folks. But these are things that we have to be mindful of as Liberians. We cannot just get up and put things out there and think that they're going to be good for us. No. Okay, let me go on now to my main subject matter here tonight. Is there anything else that I left out? No, I don't think so. My main subject matter here tonight is about this wonderful, wonderful lady and her speech she gave, I believe, was on Friday. Now, this speech, I heard about it, but I never really paid attention to it. I was reading it at work. Friday afternoon, I didn't even finish. I said, okay. Then I saw on my Facebook feed, Christopher Tubasi said this speech is ugly. I don't like it. I said, huh? If Christopher Tubasi didn't like this speech, I gotta go look at it. Because he's like the barometer of CDC versus them. That's how I gauge it. So I started reading, and then I find out, wow, interesting. Now I got a video, but I don't want to play the video. There's a reason for that. There was too much noise in there that the audio is not too clear, and for you to soak it in exactly what she was talking about. If that place was quiet and people were paying attention to her, that's a wonderful speech. Not only was it fearless, but this is something that she said blue and you can touch it. If a speech was something you can touch it. Because everything she stated, these are things that are happening now as we speak, not yesterday. So I thought that I try to focus on this speech here tonight. Because I thought just like, and this is where I'm going to put this speech. Besides the Constitution, Liberia has what they call Code of Conduct. I've read through it. And I keep saying this Code of Conduct. You know, okay, let's put it in the soccer ring. You got people who play football, and they're very good, but sometimes they get tired. They say, okay, rest a little bit. Let me bring this up. The sub is just as good, but it's a sub. And then the main person rests a little bit when you're playing some kind of physical team. This is the kinds of thing that is happening with the Code of Conduct and the Constitution. The Constitution is the mother of all mother, but the Code of Conduct is supposed to be everyday conduct code that every one of us as Liberians, if we applied it, will be fine. Will not be, because the Code of Conduct is like, for me, it's like a buffer zone between you and the Constitution. Because if you want to be a government official or private citizen, if once you start violating the Code of Conduct, certain aspect of the Code of Conduct, you start violating it, before you know, you're already into violation of the Constitution already. There's no question asked. And so I believe the Code of Conduct, if we truly want to do good in our country, the Code of Conduct should be a placard all over the agency. And if we apply those things, we will not even worry about the Constitution much. The simply I put the Code of Conduct is the simply I put Madam Bowie speech. The speech is so wonderful. Every one of us were in that speech. Every Liberians were in that speech, except for those who have died or those who have not yet been born. But those, you can be 2-year-old, as long as you're drinking water in Liberia and you're Liberian, your name is in that speech. That speech is so wonderful, it's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. So let me go ahead and I will do my best here. I have not asked anybody permission to read it, but I'm going to read it anyway. So I'm not going to read all of it, okay? From the beginning. Oops, what's my stuff? What happened? Okay, that's not it. Oh, come on now, Samson. Okay, folks, just bear with me. Just bear with me here. I was in the process of trying to do this stuff, and somehow my whatchamacallit went out on me. So let's do this, Samson. All kinds of things is coming onto my computer right now. But anyway, you know this speech. So I don't think you're anxious to. Okay, right here. Let's try again. All right, let's try again. Okay, this time I'll be careful with my computer and stuff like that. Okay, all right. She said here, every year a Liberian is given the task of being national orator. When you sit from outside, it seems like a really beautiful and colorful experience, which in fact it is. The pressure, and this is where the truthfulness of this lady comes to play. You can, once you start that, there's no sugarcoating. She said the pressure that comes with this national duty is beyond description. Everyone has a piece of advice on how you should proceed. Okay, let me just go straight. This is the advice area. July 26th is one of the few months where almost all of the population and diaspora community gather to listen to the national orator. Hopefully that the message will speak to issues that are important to their daily existence. And this was the future of the children and the growth and development of the nation. Many also listen to this movement, hopeful that this current speaker, okay, oh, I can't see that much. So let me bring my stuff. Folks, bear with me. Let me bring my stuff. Okay. This next speaker will recommend solution to national issue, and that government will take stock to implement some of those recommendations. True. Okay. Let me go down. I hope I'm not going. Okay. The theme of today's celebration is really befitting for the time that we find ourselves in. Together we are strong. Folks, let me just sidebar a little bit. This is the Together We Are Strong business, something to been preaching about long time. Because we cannot do this thing by ourselves. We all have to be in it. Okay, let me go on. We are at a place in our national life where it is very important for us to begin to speak the language of unity. Samson told. This language of unity and togetherness is the language that we have used from the founding of this nation. Our national anthem propounds this message for unity. Our pledge to the flag speaks of it. In our traditional and native language, we have very special way of speaking about togetherness. Okay, the black people, okay, I don't know how to pronounce that one. The Lama people, Ziggy Zaga Zugu, Crown people, Amababoyi, Aneboyi, Anetadwe. Okay, but anyway, let me move on. The question, of course, she didn't say crown, so I'm my own there. Why not? I'm reading it. Okay, where is she? But anyway, let me go on to the main thing that I really want to touch, and all of you here know already. The three, they, us, and okay. The tour also had she went on a tour, according to her, and I'll just narrate that now. She went on a tour when she was getting ready to do that to find out what Liberians were thinking. What are some of the things that she can get from them? And there was a lot of conversation, according to her. But there was few conversation that was very important to her, and she'd note those down, okay? The tour also had a very interesting spin. On many occasions, I was being questioned by my participants, okay? How can we be together, Madam Boy, in the presence of very harsh economic conditions? How can we be strong together when corruption is still at the peak? How can we be strong together when individuals who were poor yesterday are now living in mansions and driving cars that cost enough to fund good school for our children? How can we be strong together when women are still dying in the hundreds during the process of giving birth? Yeah. How can we be strong together when there is a serious war on the bodies of women without any legal cause in many instances? How can we be together? You're saying we should be together, madam. And these are questions that people were asking. How can we be strong together when there is a prevalence of selective justice? How can we be strong together when political appointment is based not on competence but party affiliation? Like I said, this speech, if you can feel it, you can touch it. It ain't far away. How can we be strong when our educational system is a huge challenge? How can we be strong when we cannot feed ourselves? Yeah, center our time we've been on the feeding business. And not just not business. How can we be strong together when interests are never national but individual? Samson has told you this. If you do not build institution, you cannot seek the interest of national unity, because you're building an individual, and the individual has an interest. You can't put individual interest with national interest. They will not work. And the individual that you're building will always want their interest to be above the national interest. Okay? So let me go on. There's another one of a 13-year-old Okay. One question in particular resonated with me and has struck with me as I prepare my remark. The question was, how can we be strong together when our country is divided in three parts? Here we go. In three parts. This is the part that the whole world that listen to the Liberians all over the world, this is the part that they enjoy the most. Because what she have done here, unless, even, like I said, unless you're dead, or you haven't, somebody ain't born here. But every one of us were part of the three stuff here, the three parts. The three parts, she said, the ruling position, the opposition, and the no position. Now, yes. The one she went deep, she went deep. She went deep. She went deep. We were, and before I go on here, let me just give you another one. But the problem that I grew up in Town. I told you before, and I'm going to tell you again. Town used to be the seat, a chiefdom seat of BI chiefdom. This is where people who don't pay their taxes, the two-way party demand taxes. If you don't pay, they bring you to Town. Not only do they disgrace you, but they hurt you until the $10 is paid. And that $10 is not coming to Town school for free, no, far from it. That $10 going to Monrovia at the two-way party headquarters. They decide how much of that $10 come back to Town, if at all. If at all. If at all. But you go, and I'm not trying to bring a division here this evening. I'm making a point, and these are the actual points. So don't come back here and say, "Why are you bringing that thing up again for?" No, I want people to understand. Then they will say, "Okay, well, the two-way party was running the government. Fine. Well, how many of us those days? What, about 1.5, $10? Aha. And then we have Mount Nima. Oh ho. Then we have the Firestone Plantation. Aha. You see where I'm going with this? But I'm not going to make that into a speech. Okay. And each come from a rhetoric and hate message that are worse than the war rhetoric. Oh, this is bad. These things, I keep telling you folks, you go on Facebook, you start cussing. You go on Facebook, start calling people. These things can hurt. They're even worse than, according to her, worse than the war rhetoric, where you say, "Oh, tomorrow, people hungry." Then you mean, "Oh, tomorrow we're going to attack that area." The people, yeah, they're worrying because the warrior people coming to attack tomorrow. She's saying the thing we do now, they're worse than the war issue. Okay. I propound on three divisions that were mentioned and decided to probe further on what these three equal parts really represent in our country. Where are they? What exactly are these things? And this lady, she did a wonderful job of digging deep. And this is what she, folks, you know, and then again, you know, first of all, these things comes about if you don't have interest in your country. These things comes about if you have no respect for each other. These things comes about if you care less for what people think of you in the community. These things comes about if you think you are the best person in the community and therefore nobody else should say nothing but you. With those kinds of mindset, you cannot get out of this but to fall back in here. She said, this is it. Let me start with the first category. The no position. No position. My man, that the pure team, man. You're leading pure team. That pure team, Liberia, Republic of the Republic of Liberia. Then you say people team. Town, Republic of Liberia. Zeretown, Republic of Liberia. Sani Chloe, Republic of Liberia. Banga, Republic of Liberia. Rubber Sport, Republic of Liberia. Tapeta, Republic of Liberia. Then you say people think. Then you say Tapeta, Nibaka, they didn't stop there. Hey, I got knot all over my hair here to show you. Growing up in Town. I will do that again tonight, folks. Samson Growing up in Town. I have that young man. He's a little bit older. Well, not a little bit. He's older than me. So he used to say, "Kaya, I want to type my letter to go to Zlatan." And you bang your head because you do so, you'll flock you. So what one you want? You want a metal BU or you bang your head? You bang your head and you start typing, conking, king, ding, 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 ding. First you start with toe quarter, toe town, bi clan, bi chidon, and all of those things you got to spell it with conking your head. Bi chidon, Boston District, Grand Gita County, Republic of Liberia. Then before you can say dear sir, before you say dear sir, you hear hating already. I'm telling you. So I know these things. Don't tell me I don't know what I'm talking about. But anyway, let's go. There's a very serious business. She said here, the no position. Folks, I have to put in humor from time to time, just so that we don't feel bad for ourselves. So that we don't feel bad for ourselves. So that we would know we're human being like any other person. The story I just told you about, it's not unique to me. I'm sure other people in other places growing up in those villages, these things happen all over. So I try to put that in there so we'll understand. Let's go on. Okay, the no position. This is the biggest group. True. But it comes with the mentality of the smallest majority. No position, according to her, are the ones that suffer the most in our society. Their children are the key recipients of the messy education system. They are the ones who suffer the poor health care system. Just for most, no position is non-existent. They live in an abject poverty and can barely afford a meal a day. No position. They are the everyday easer. Their political alliance and choices are never developmental driven, but driven by stomach infrastructure. Stomach infrastructure. Oh, sorry. You had a spoon, you had the rice, and the hand take the spoon, take the rice. Infrastructure. Oh, okay. All right. Okay. Stomach infrastructure. They failed repeatedly to look at the plan, or even ask for plans from politicians. Rather, they take cash, t-shirt, and bag of rice. Folks, like I said, this speech, if you were to look at, you can feel it. What she's saying here, everybody know about it. Okay, I agree things are tough. Life is hard. People are hungry. But if we fail to ask the hard question when we have the power, why are we surprised when we elect SGG, steal, grab, and go? I love this lady. Steal, grab, and go. No one of our Christopher Tobacco said, he said, I'll let this speech. Guys, they hit him up. People, they're too bad. Ah, my goodness. Samson told LeBron Pabrito, folks, it's Monday afternoon. The election just happened. So those of you that want to go on that side where they jubilating and think that you can quietly excuse yourself, we don't mind that. No position has the government must, and that the people think attitude. Okay? And they refuse to get involved constructively and creatively in national issues, including issues affecting their daily lives. No position hold government responsible for everything, including the garbage they threw out from the window when they're in the city, in the public-private transportation. Makes sense. The no position group feel that they are separated from politics and decision, but this means they have allowed themselves be played like a game of tennis or a soccer match between Barcelona and Real Madrid. By having no position, they tell themselves they are excused from the dilemma we face as a nation. You get that? No position. No position. My people, man, are tired, man. People can listen to us. We will go and demonstrate, said the people don't listening to us. Let them do what they want to do. When the time finishes, they will go. No position. No royal, you boy. We've been facing it, no road business here for years and years. But that non-people, you talk, it was not white, man. The people, they don't listening. No position. Politics is numbers. Politics is interest. As Yaka Kaluba. And people are saying, oh, they're doing it because they want. No, far from it. Anybody that say that, they're fooling you. Yeka Koluba is being developed. The area is being developed because he's opening his mouth. And here is what most likely those who are carrying on development in Yeka Koluba area, this most likely this is what they're thinking. If the people in that area see development, next time we will challenge Yeka Koluba, people will be, no, you can't beat him. Because Yeka Koluba going to come back and say, because of me, because of the mouth that I have, you get these things. And who will say no? Who will be in a right mind to say, hey, Yeka, because they're watching other lawmakers that are not talking. They don't see no development in your area. Yeka Koluba talking, development coming in your area. Is that some sort of a far-fetched? No. So Yeka Koluba next election, unless he doesn't want, if he wants it, he will win. Because what he's saying, even though he's saying about the nation, but the government of the Republic of Liberia see fit to challenge him, to say, let's build something in his area. Let's improve stuff in his area. So that when we're ready for him, we say, you see what the government doing for you, Yeka Koluba can't do it. No, you're wrong. You're wrong. Because Yeka Koluba going to come back tomorrow and say, look, because you now see the government, they were doing anything here before I start talking, they said no. And because I'm talking, because I want to hear, I say, yeah. How you think you'll win? How you think you'll beat Yeka Koluba? Samson told LeBron Public Radio. I just thought I'd throw that in there. Okay? No position. No position. The no position. You're going to have that in any community, in any setting. You're going to have people who are passive. So it left with people who perhaps used to be in this type of community, even though they never believe in no position. But when you get up there, look down and see the no position, help them out. Even if they are not involved, go to them. But then you say, Mr. Tool, politics is interest. These people have no interest. That's why we're not going. No, far from it. Far from it. I don't agree with it. Let's go on. Let's go on. Two more. Okay. Then the second category, she said, this is a doozy. This is a doozy. They made no book. We told you, I said they made no book. Then you want to put in there. And they may not doing nothing and they're complaining to us. Opposition. They may we know very well he ain't about the job. He ain't about. Then you say you're putting there. Now you want to say what you want to do now? Opposition. The man, when we're having a debate, any man say he refused to come to the debate, that now you want to talk, and the man want to be president. Let him be president now. Opposition. Let me talk. Let me read it. Let's go to Madam Boy here. What she's going to tell her about the opposition, folks. It's very interesting. And if you go on YouTube, you will be able to find the video. But like I said, the noise is just too much. Usually I play video. I don't talk. I don't read. I just play the video. But the noise is just too much. And what she was saying are so interesting, so beautiful. In fact, as she was talking, you can see people walking all over the place. What kind of business is that? That podium should be separated far away from passage. Those people that continue to plan these things, even though I'm not a planner, but they're not doing good things. You take that podium and put it somewhere where when somebody passing, it will not even be closed. But when you watch the video, people passing all over while she's talking, turning around, turning her back to her and having conversation. What a disrespect. And these are the people. In fact, I will not hesitate to call some of those people the no position. Samson told LIBERIA Public Radio. Let's go on. Second category, opposition. Depending on which period. I just stated that. Samson told. Folks, I enjoy myself sometimes. Depending on which position we find ourselves. There are a bunch of recycle politicians. Samson told, I've never been a politician before, but my mom been running. I'm a recycle. I am a recycle. My mom running. Okay, let's go on. bunch of recycled politicians or want to be politician. That mean right there, I want to be politician, but I'm too old, so I'm a recycle, but I want to be. We're all in this particular speech. Every one of us, Liberians, whether you're in diaspora or you're back home, we're in here. You're not, they didn't spare any of us. And I love that. Okay, let's go. They claim to have all the answer. Yeah, I mean, something to on air. Oh, my bad job. We are not doing that. The people they were from the way building the road. This is not it. Yeah, every night I tell they were another way to build the road. But what happened? Let Manaboy address me. Let Manaboy. I'm not going to address myself. Listen how she addressed me in that position. Okay. They claim to have all the answers of our national problems, including peace and regulation. Opposition suffer from a severe case of amnesia. That me. Well, our Liberty Party spokesperson here, having Liberty Party people on my show. Oh, we were the best. Liberty Party, come to Liberty Party. If you want something better for Liberia, come to Liberty Party. I forgot. Okay, so they refuse to acknowledge that they too have contributed to our national crisis. Folks, true statement, all of us, no one is above this. Every one of us that run our mouth from time to time. Well, you can't ask any Liberian man who would say, I don't have no position. Most of them say they don't have position, but you are not fine there. But when you go to Liberian Party in the diaspora, 2-3 get together, especially this whole weekend are coming for the July 26th celebration. 2-3 get together. That is Liberian issue. Why is it that we continue to think that we have the solution, but when the opportunity is given, we can't do nothing? Let's go on. Opposition, she said. And this one, I'm not going to poke any fun out of it anymore. Opposition, she said. Opposition is often so desperate for power that they are willing to align with criminals, criminal, con artists, and just about anyone to achieve their goals. We have similar stuff like that in Liberty Party. I'm not going to call names because these people are still alive. But when Liberty Party, we have Liberty Party USA and Liberty Party Liberia. Like I said, I was involved, heavily involved. And so we used to have the retreat. Councillor Bronsky and Hezekiah Israel, they all came. We met over there in Flanty, Kofar Flanty. We all met over there in Las Vegas, where we try to strategize how to approach things. And one of the interesting subjects, there was two of them. One of them was, how do we play the game that the Unity Party is playing? Because Unity Party is going down the gutter and bringing all kinds of junk up. Do we follow them in the gutter? If we follow them in the gutter, those who were arguing this, if we follow Unity Party in the gutter, then we're not different from Unity Party. Then you cannot claim that you want to be different from the business as usual, because you're doing exactly what Unity Party is doing. And there are those, I'm not going to call names again, there are those who also claim that if we don't follow them, if they go in the gutter, we go in the gutter. Because that's politics, that's Liberian politics. But then the question was, then how are you different? If you're successful, if you follow these people in the gutter and do all of these, then what makes you different from them? If you want to lead Liberia to a different position, won't you want to have a position or a behavior or a thing that will be different? The Liberian going to view that and say, well, this person is not like the way the other people are. And that, folks, it's always been the issues in all of the Liberian political parties. These two issues. Which way do we go? There are other political parties that go and join with people that have money, ill-gotten wealth, people who didn't actually work for their money, or people who got the money because they refused to pay taxes in Liberia, and these people got huge sums of money. So the question also were, do we talk to these people because we don't have money? We can sit here and try to collect money, contribute, and what have you. You're not going to be able to make it with people who have been in office making $15,000 a month, who has been in office for almost 6-7 years, and you want to challenge that person. You're going to have to find means to get money. How do you do that? Either you stay and join with what she's talking about here. Join with these people who have gotten their money illegally, and everybody knows. And now you call yourself a political leader. You're joining with the people because you think they can financially support you. Liberians are now watching. That any people say they come to help again. Look who they hanging with. These are the kinds of problems that we have in Liberia, and these are the problems that we have to face. If we don't face it, we'll be here talking the whole time. Let me go on. Okay, so opposition often so desperate. Okay, blah blah blah. Interesting. Blah blah. Quick becomes praise. Okay, no, that's it. That's it. Okay. Opposition is often so desperate for power that they are willing to align themselves with murder. Blah blah blah. Okay. One interesting thing about the opposition is that their enemies of yesterday, she said, can easily be the friend of today. Eugene Nagbe, CDC. I'm not even gonna hide that one. Eugene Nagbe, CDC, and there are a bunch of them, lots of them. Flanty Kofa, CDC. Used to be Liberty Party chairperson, CDC, and there are a bunch of them. Why is it that you believe in certain things that make you to want to be part of a political party that believes something quite different from that of CDC? But because CDC are now in power, you join them. What happened to your core belief now? You don't have it. You don't have it. Because you truly cannot align yourself with something that you don't believe in. I evolve. Yeah, you evolve. But then what happened to your core principle? Unless you're going to tell me we don't have it. So let me move. I'm not going to question that much. Let me move on. Why? Let me move on. So I'm not going to question that much, okay? So the enemies of yesterday, friend today, okay. And can quickly become praise sinker. And that one we know that one. Okay, we know that one. All right. The opposition, she said. Okay. Oh shit. I'm on air. I will call you back. I'm on air. Goodbye. Hey, flip. You know what you're doing. You're laughing. Yeah. Okay. You know me. And you know I got high. Okay, let me go on, folks. So the opposition in many instances use verses than rhetoric, increasing the division in our country through their words and action. There is no space for collaboration and partnership to solve the people problems. That's true. The president come in, he ain't got nothing to offer. Like in CDC case, most people have nothing to offer, so they say, well, but I gotta find enemy for president. We have to know that I'm on his side. So they start praising, sinking, and then finding enemies. Okay, let's go now to the ruling party. Okay, the ruling position. The third category, she says, folks, Samson told Labron Public. The third category, she said, is the ruling position. They came into power with our time. And the one part she pretty much pulled it out of the vice president's statement. Okay? Pulled it completely out of the vice president's statement. Okay. We not take all. The ruling position has a severe sense of entitlement, believing they have the right to a certain position and lifestyle. They have no room for criticism, and anyone who holds views contrary to their agreed upon view is seen as the enemy. Simple as that. But the only way they are successful in doing this, first thing, they will put Dr. Weir or whoever it is in charge, put them in the bubble. So once that person is in the bubble, then it's difficult to get out. Simple as that. Okay? Another thing about this ruling stuff here, okay, and I'll read that and I'll make the comment. The ruling position expect blind loyalty, which turned the story of the empire with no clothes into reality. Leaders are fear of unnecessary praises and lies by members of the ruling position, like I just stated. Okay, all for one purpose: job that the people who are lying to the president or lying to the leader, job that they are in most cases that they jobs that they in most cases not qualified for. Folks, somebody is disturbing me here big time. I apologize. Okay. So, all right. Political appointments, not qualified. Political appointments within the ruling position have absolutely nothing to do with qualification, but rather a position, a person's ability to sing the political anthem of the day. Pressure in one case, Bakama in another case. I don't know what Bakama means, but anyway, let's go on. The ruling position give reward not on the basis of excellence, but on the basis of who can denigrate their opponent the most. And we have that. We have people like that in CDC. We have that. Okay, denigrate their opponent the most on social media and other platforms. This creates a culture among our young people that competence and education are not necessary tools for ascending to any position. True story, because if we're not careful, these are the kinds of stuff the people are going to believe. The ruling position often has misplaced priorities. Their development agenda is nicely written. I just told you, Samson told. We have a beautiful blueprint, proper agenda, so beautiful. But let me go on. Nicely written on paper, but implementation is basically their private project. The ruling position, like the opposition, also suffer from severe case of amnesia, forgetting their action and reaction when they were opposition. Now, this one I can speak to that. For generations, we have lived in this vast circle of opposition and ruling position. Let's go back to this position. And what I believe, this particular one here, and I agree with her, but most of the time, folks, these things comes about, okay? If you're in the opposition, you don't see, because the person you're opposing, the person at the top, they can see everything in terms of politics, in terms of governing. They can see everything unless they don't want to see. So you down at the opposition, you can't see things like they see. So you there making the noise, you're doing this, but when you get there and you see the difficulty and you see the position you find yourself, if I know, I'm not even going to try, but most people will not say that. And that, for me, as a result of that, they're not able to open their mouth. It's the same thing. Okay. For generation, we have lived in this vicious circle of opposition and ruling position. When opposition becomes ruling position, too often they adopt the same practice that they have used to critique When the role shift, the situation remain the same or exaggerated. Okay. While ruling position and opposition continue to argue about who is right, our country grabbed by many vices. Okay. That's I think that would be that's how far I want to go on this one here tonight. Folks, let's go now. Samson told Labron Pablo, let me get myself somebody seriously disturbing, so to put myself back into that position. But let me play a little music here before. Again, Samson told LeBron Pablo, let me just show you a picture here that will tell you exactly what I've just talked, the stuff that I just read. Look at this picture, okay, of life. There's a big window out there, and there are people who are anxious to do exactly what they need to do. Look, the first person, way on top, okay, overplay his hand. And because he's strong, he able to collect the books as many as possible, stuck them over. He thought say now he can't see anything. Look at the other guy. After he look at it, he said, that man, he brought some kind of lot of paper here. I think I'll just go. He can't see as far because he didn't do much. The man in the middle said, no, I will go half the guy way up there. Between the guy way up there and the guy down, I will go half. Maybe that will put me in a position. And he's in the right position. Because, and the other guy, he said, I'm not even going to do anything. I'll just stay on the floor. That's life. You have to take chances sometimes. But if you know that the chances you're taking involve other people, consult with them, talk to people, have a conversation, be sincere of your inability to achieve certain things. Be sincere, be truthful. Because if you're truthful in doing so, people will come to your aid. Because why you think that perhaps I don't know the thing, if I open my mouth people will laugh at me. No. Yeah, people will laugh at you. But there will be some people who say, no, I'm not even gonna laugh. I can show you. That's how most countries developed. These people that went on the moon. You think they just get a blue and go on the moon? People die trying. People die experimenting. What do we do in Liberia? What do we do? The death that came about during the war, was it even necessary? That's remain to be seen. We still have that to be discussed. But what was the end result? What did we get out of that? With all our brothers and sisters, daughter, son, father, mother, everybody died. What do we get out of it? Except for grieved. Nothing. And we have people that are in position of power right now that raise themselves in the refugee camps, raise themselves in the street of Monrovia. And what do you expect now? The older generation failed completely. And this generation have the opportunity to turn this thing around. And as long as God continues to give us life, some of us will continue to be here to beat the drum of unity. Because that's the only way we're going to turn this thing around. If we work together as brothers and sisters, then perhaps we will do well. Because these things are very, very, very interesting. So let me go ahead now, open the line, folks. Samson to LeBron Public Radio. I want you to give me a call here. Let me go ahead and open the line, and then give me a call and tell me what do you think. What do you think? What I say something here that perhaps is not conducive to clear on biology government. As they said, no, you can't do that kind of thing. That's not right at all. Okay. All right. Let me go on. Give me a call, Samson to LeBron Public Radio, and tell me what do you think. Tell me what do you think. Let's see. folks, give me a call. 916. Here's the number over there. 916-533-2048. And all I've been saying here, like I said, I'm not going to discuss the. You can bring it up when you call me. You can bring it up, but I'm not going to discuss the election until I get clear understanding from those who are responsible to tell me who the winner is. Then I can go on to discuss that and give a analysis that will at least be in line with whatever result that will come out. Okay, but we're basically here tonight. This lady, this Liberian laureate, she has done a wonderful job. There's no reason to hate her. And then while I'm waiting for your call, if Dr. Weah and his people want to do good for this country, they will make sure the speech, get hold of the speech. Don't get angry. Don't get angry. Work within that speech. What is it? Because if Dr. Weah and his people work within that speech, she lines out a lot of things. They can turn this thing around. And the opposition, ruling position, opposition, all of those things can stop right now with them. They can help Liberians. I mean, folks, every one of us are anxious to learn. Nobody is above learning. No one. And if the government, because the reason I'm saying the government, because they're in position. They have the power. They have the purse. They can select group of Liberians. Say we want you to target certain community for this type of education to happen. We want everybody to be involved. But we keep from time to time, the government, I'm not too sure who is making these decisions. They keep on false error, bringing things to themselves. Like some time ago, I was reading about this money trying to give Liberian. If you send money back home, they will give 100% Liberian dollar to your family member. That's not what you want. So why do I even want to send money to Liberia? I tell my son, okay, find your way to Ivory Coast. He get there, I send him money. He get the Ivorian money, change it into Liberian money, come back home. Or change it to the US, come back home. The only money you're going to get now is the money he's going to buy food with. But the actual money that you're supposed to get when I send the money, you're not going to get it. Ivorian going to get it. Why do we have to go through that? And those are the kinds of stuff that I still believe that if this government wants to turn things around, first thing after this election, and I would say that if Dr. Weah and his people win, stone cold, you're not going to get nothing from them. Forget the opposition. You're not getting nothing until 6 years over. If the opposition wins, I will encourage Dr. Weah to turn it around and commit to talking to them. Because if the opposition wins, it just show you. First of all, if they win, that would mean I will not eat crow, because I was one of those that were out here the last time saying I will eat crow if Dr. Weah win, because I was out here telling Dr. Weah and his people that they were going to get whooped. And so I don't want to eat crow, to be honest with you. So, but if the decision comes and says Dr. Weah and people win, I will eat crow right here. I've told you guys already. But that's not the point. That's not the point. I've also continued to ask Dr. Weah to see reason to engage these people. Yes, my reason. And then there are some sedition that will say, no, you don't engage anybody, because then you're making a person popular. Popular, my foot. He's a Liberian. He has the right to engage. But my point is, Dr. Weah continue to do these wonderful things, market building, opening factory here and there. A lot of people are not hearing about it. These things, a lot of people are not hearing about it because they're coming through. And you say the man can't do it now. You see what you're doing now? Who will want to listen to that? Who will want to listen to that? Coming through as though you're demanding for people. If you can't love me, you don't love me, you will love me. That kind of thing people listen to? So they tune you off. And the problem we're facing in Liberia, folks, one of the things that I just noticed, when I was growing up in Monrovia, the churches in Liberia, the preaching used to be about forgiving them. Oh, Jesus, whatever you do, we ask that you forgive those who have wronged us, because they don't know what they're doing. Nowadays, the person wronging, Jesus Christ punishing. Yes. Disgracing. Preaching. Disgrace those people that try to stop me. Disgrace them. In fact, kill them. I don't want them to say, you preaching in the church, and you're saying that somebody offend you, that person doesn't deserve to be alive. You're preaching gospel that's supposed to be the form of unity. The gospel that's supposed to guide all of us, our behavior towards each other. And you're there. The witchcraft, you know witchcraft business? I don't know that. The witchcraft, these people bringing witchcraft, kill them. Let the witch turn against. Those are Nigerians' way of preaching. They're all infiltrated back into Liberia now. The preachers that's supposed to guide, if these people are preaching like that, how do you think their follower are going to say? Look at the song that everybody gravitating the dancing to. Are born to win. Of course, everyone who's born, will you think my mom will born me and say something to you, you're not going to win? Every one of us born to win. I jump over the hole you're digging. Who digging hole? But those are the kinds of things we have in our community. And you expect with those kinds of behavior in our entertainment, in our churches, and you expect the politicians, those kind of things, you don't expect it to infiltrate into the politics and people will want to work together? Is that what you think? The imam, the bishop, the kind of thing, yeah, you can do this, yeah. The kind of thing, God will punish you. You there on the pulpit, God person, then you asking God to punish somebody. Where is the asking of God to forgive? And then there will be those, well, not every time you can say forgive. Sometimes you say forgive, then God thinks you're stupid. No. You have no control. It is the God that, if we all believe that we were made in the image of God, if I'm misbehaving in a community, I will expect the community to pray for me, to change me, so that I will come along with the community, so I will conform to the community behavior. But if the community condemn me to suffering, if the community condemn me to dying, then how am I going to be helpful? What if I have something that I want to contribute to the community? What if God has given me certain talent, but because you believe that I'm a witchcraft, because I've not shown you, there's nothing proving from you to tell me that I'm a witchcraft. You see where I'm going with this thing, folks? So if we have the community themselves are in so much turmoil in terms of how we deal with each other, our religious leaders. Folks, I'm sorry to do this evening, but I think these are kinds of stuff that we all need to see. If our community leader, go in your own community where you living, how many churches you have? In your own little community you have, how many churches you have? And then you expect for politicians to go home and form two political parties? Folks, these are kinds of things that repeat themselves. You have churches all over in one community, and the politicians leave, they go and do the same thing. We can form our own political party here, even though they all have the same ideology, pretty much. But no, they have what, 20, 30 political parties. How are we going to develop? How? These are kinds of stuff I truly believe that are slowing us down. Okay? So I'm not faulting the religious leaders or the religious community. I'm just saying let us look at ourselves. All of the religious music from time to time. If you don't like me, you will like me. And why you hate me so much? If you don't love me, God love me, of course. But those are kinds of things that comes into the community from the church, from these music that comes out and it comes into us. Okay? So I'm here, 916-533-2048. Okay, so that's folks. I just thought that I'd throw these things in there to be honest with you, because the churches, the kinds of things that are coming out of the churches, they're losing ground. They're losing ground because these are the people that are supposed to stand up and say, "Oh, didn't you hear the imam talking? You talking still, Peking? Didn't you hear the bishop talking? You talking still, Peking?" But if the bishop themselves, prosperity, God will give you millions of dollars. The person will not work. Oh, you're going to have your education soon. How? No school? Folks, they're deeper. They're deeper. And so a community that is difficult to understand will go through a lot. Will go through a lot. It's not that people cannot be forgiven. I truly believe that people can be redeemed. But you must be given the opportunity to be redeemed. But all of the music, most of the music, I have nothing against them. I dance with them myself. But listen to the hole you dig, I jump over it. Who digging hole? Digging hole for what? The bad behavior you got, I jump over it. You don't like me, you will like me. You're forced to like me. You're forced to like me. Listen to it. You are forced to like me. Forced? Do you know the meaning of forced? That means that person will to choose no longer exists. And these are the kinds of stuff that our community dance so. And so when they listen to these kinds of stuff, they go into politics and they apply these same knowledge to each other. And how you expect for them to work together? Every time you see them in different light. They are not for you because they criticize what you're doing. And therefore they are not for you, they are against you. So they will never see you being successful. As a result, what do? They gravitate towards criminals. They gravitate towards people that perhaps do. They themselves, their moral standing in the community is so high. No question asked. But because they want power, they will allow their moral standing in the community to be reduced. And then when they get to power, then is that when you're going to pick it up? It's too late. It's too late. And these are things that continue to affect our small little country. And the worst of all, worst thing about Liberia is that most of the people in our country, we know each other. Most of us grew up together. As something here old now, I get wish. All that time I growing into that, I get wish. But in America now, I'm a witchcraft now. You hear say that when you get wish, you can't even fly over the ocean because the ocean has salt. I'm serious. You hear say if you get wish, the light pole then will catch you at night. Folks, then you're going to come to America and come look for witchcraft. No, I laugh now. You know, it's funny, but these are things that happen in our community. Every Sunday, people go to church. They preach. And they pray singing. Yeah. God, you're great. But anybody look at me the way you don't want them to look at me, strike them. Why are you telling God? The words that come out of your mouth, they're very powerful. Don't you know that? But you're asking God to strike another human being. Why can't you use that same power to ask God, whatever witchcraft that you have found in this person, that this person be redeemed, be removed out of that witchcraft business and join the community so that the community can move forward? But because you suspect and because you think that person is witchcraft, therefore she or he doesn't deserve to be in a community anymore. Since when you start making these kinds of decisions, these are things that continue to affect all of us emotionally. Folks, this is Samson Toll, Liberian Public Radio. Let me get out of here. It's been a wonderful, wonderful evening. I guess nobody have comment or question or something to join me. Everybody over there listen. I'm not going to get into the politics of things here tonight. There's no way. Maybe by Wednesday, hopefully by that time, we'll have the decision of who the winner is from NEC, from the National Election Commission. Then I will come out to congratulate that winner, whoever the winner will be. Other than that, all our ICE Liberians back home and even here in the diaspora, those of us that have the opportunity to be on these social media, please contain yourself. Be careful what comes out of your mouth. If it's not of unity, don't say it. Don't be so much divisive because of election. And by perhaps you don't think the election is going your way, therefore you're going to be throwing stone. You live in a glass house. You can't continue to be throwing stone. These are not something that are good for the community, and they are not even good for your own soul. This is Samson Toll, Liberian Public Radio. I want to thank all of you again tonight to say thank you very much. And once again, I want to thank Madam Boy for being brave, a woman. And in fact, she stated something that I didn't get to. She said to the president, say, Mr. President, I'll talk to you directly. Where she believed that the women in the she need more, you know. Which and again, I just want to take the time to say thank her very much. To say thank you, Madam Boy. We appreciate it. And that's one of the reasons why you won that Nobel Peace Prize, because everything about you is peaceful and truthful, and the fact that you continue to exhibit that, people, young girls are watching you and they're fathering you. Even young men are watching you and also fathering you. It's not a matter of being a woman, because whatever that you stated the other day, they are all true, madam. Nothing you stated in there that is not true. Nothing. Everything that comes out of your mouth that particular time were truth. And that's what we need. We need somebody who will be truthful, look in our eyes and tell us, Samson, what you're saying and what you're doing is wrong. I might not appreciate at that moment, because I'm a human being. Nobody wants to be told the truth, to say what you're doing is wrong. But if that person have the ability to think, to reflect, then those things will be resolved. And that, folks, been my closing here. Oh, everybody leaving. They're leaving the result party now. You're welcome. You're just leaving the result party. You're welcome. I'm not talking politics here to know. Those of you that are leaving the result party, you're welcome. Samson Toll, Liberian Public Radio. It's a wonderful, wonderful thing to have you guys at this evening. Please tune in tomorrow for Mr. Soul Show, where he will talk on a lot of issues affecting our brothers and sisters all over the world, including Liberia. But I'll be back Wednesday. And we will have some wonderful. But then I hope we will have the result, and then I will put my analysis together And at that point too, myself, I like Madam Boy said, I fall in one of the categories no matter what. Either I'm no position, I'm not a ruling position. There's no way. Either I'm no position or opposition, or want to be a politician. I can't have it both ways. But I will come in and if I see who's, even those, if the election goes certain way and that person, there's blame that I see that I need to cast against that person, I will do so. But I'll be truthful. Again, folks, Samson told LeBron Favorito. Been a wonderful, wonderful evening. I want to once again say thank you to all our brothers and sisters in Liberia. They continue to make us proud. To be honest with you, I think if the election in Liberia was something that just depend on the Liberian diaspora, by the time we're fighting, the BT will be thrown. When I'm going to the poll, you beat me, I don't go to the poll, I beat you, you go to the poll, then I win. That because the way we carry ourselves on Facebook, things we say, how we address each other. Why can I not make that ridiculous statement about us? Okay? But look at our brothers and sisters back home. They have issue on Saturday throwing rocks at each other. People got hurt, which was very bad, very bad. But look how the thing turned today. Peaceful. And this is what I keep saying. If Liberians want to destroy things, nothing can stop them. But they're tired. They want peace. Liberians want peace. They want to enjoy. Let us provide the avenue. Those of you that are in position, look at the other. I'm going to bring the money business up again. That's a complete mess. First of all, it's not just a mess. It's a disrespect to the Liberian diaspora. And you can't have those kinds of stuff as being a good leader by being disrespectful to people who are helping you. Because truthfully, if this remittance that's going back to Liberia, if it stopped completely, you can't make it. With all the layoffs that come in Liberia, you're able to provide that? It is the Liberian diaspora that continue to almost like subsidizing. And I'm not even going to say almost, they are subsidizing. Whatever the Liberian government ain't able to reach, the Liberian diaspora can reach there. Then we need to work together. Now, if you're going to make this kinds of ruling, why will you not come and consult our leadership and let them tell us this is what the Liberian government thinking? Samson told LeBron Favorito, what's your name and where you're calling from? I know who you are, but I just wanted people to know who you are. What's your name and where you're calling from? Are you calling from Liberian Public Radio, or you have something else you want to talk about and I should call you later?
Call me later or something.
Okay, thank you.
You almost ending now. So
No. I got time for you. I got it. Kind of. I'm let you don't wait.
No, because I look at my sister-in-law picture over there. So I say, I will not something discussing the speech.
Who your sister-in-law?
Bowie.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I just got through discussing the speech, and I know most of you were going to the party of winning, who winning and who not winning, but I wasn't discussing that. But anyway, yeah. If you have any contribution, we're welcome to it.
Oh, no. Well, you know something. The speech, everybody reading the speech. Everybody have their own way of, picking up something from there. Because for me, the way I see that speech is not against, it's not against it. Everybody in that country everybody in that country has to speak of that speech. We all have something to do with it.
Exactly. That's exactly what I stated. I said.
I got it from the speech.
Yes.
I give you an example of something. For example, she said, taxi driver, put plastic bag in the car. What Joy Ware has to do with that? Those people who when they get drunk, they keep in the street. What Joy Ware has to do with that?
Right.
It's not Joy Ware. He doesn't want people to go and defecate in the street or restaurant right here. You come from in the restaurant, then you go right out of the restaurant and go pee. Like Joy Ware said that too.
Right.
So for me, the speech is for all Nigerians. I think we should challenge ourselves, and say, well, look, this lady came up here, she said all of these things. How can I be a better president? How can I make Nigeria better? I think that's how, for me, that's how I'm reading the speech. It's not against a specific group.
Right.
It's a challenge to all Liberians.
Right, I agree, and that's exactly the point that I was making right at the beginning. I said every one of us, unless you're not you ain't born yet or you die already, but all Liberians, with every one of us in that speech, every one of us were part of that speech. Now, you're not gonna remove yourself from anything. Yeah, but yeah, you're right. Okay.
So for people to go around and say, "Oh, yeah, she messed with the government." Hey, that's the ruling political party. The ruling political party has their own space in that speech. The opposition has a space in the speech. Listen to what he said about the opposition. They claim to have all the solutions to our problems, which is not true.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, they are willing to align themselves with all kinds of people. I'm not even going to call it names and all of that.
I did.
But
I called them criminal. I called them criminal and murderers.
Yes, but what he said, the opposition, they claim to have solution to all our problems, and in fact, why they are at that, they don't have any problem aligning themselves with criminals, murderers.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I don't know, but for me, so that how I'm reading that, because I'm still reading it, I think I've gone through maybe 2 or 3 times already.
It's a wonderful. I read the whole, not the whole thing, but I read most of the speech on live here. It's a wonderful thing. The only thing that I thought happened with that speech is the spectators. They were too noisy, number one, and they were being very disrespectful. She was speaking, people walking, here and there. Even if you want to use the bathroom, there's a way that you can get up and that will be respectful. But people coming at right to the podium there and having conversation. I thought that was very degrading. That was very disrespectful. But they speak, and that's why I didn't want to play the video because the noise is just too much. And so I decided to do the reading. Of course, somebody from one place told me you can't read nothing, so I want to read. I was speaking crying, I was reading crying. I thought I was reading English.
Well, thank you.
Thank you.
I don't know what will be your next topic. I will try to come in there.
Well, my next topic, which will be Wednesday, will be hopefully by then we'll have gotten the result of the election today, and then I will come in to do an analysis because I'm not going to congratulate anybody based on Facebook result. I'm not going to do that. So I'm not going to talk about the election until I get result from the National Election Commission. And so the only thing that I said, I was frowning on those that were jubilating and dancing and things like that. I don't think it was right because why, if the election commission come tomorrow, you say you have won, and the election commission comes and tell you, say no, you didn't win. Then what do you do now? What do you tell your people? How do you stop your people from burning people's houses down? All those kinds of stuff. So I thought that was the only low point in that. So, but anyway, thank you, Mr. Babla. That's Mr. P. Alfonso Babla, who is from the PA area and a very good friend of mine. Thank you, Mr. Babla. We appreciate it, sir.
Okay, all right. But I'll be with you on Wednesday.
Okay, I appreciate that.
Thank
you. Okay. All right, folks. Sam Cinto, LeBron Pablito. Okay. In the process, while I'm trying to wrap up, if you call me, I'll pick up your phone. It's that's what we're here to do. But anyway, the point that I'm trying to make here is that we are going to have to accept. This lady have done a wonderful job. Once again, if I am in the opposition, I will look at that speech. If I am a part of the ruling party, I will look at that speech. And if I'm just somebody passive, as Mr. Costa described, in fact, Costa gave 2 categories of people who he believed are the no position. They, according to him, which I think makes sense as well. According to him, the people that are the 2 categories in the no position, according to Costa, is that you have the rich people who cares less. One way or the other, they buy food. They don't care. They don't participate. They don't vote. They don't do nothing. All they know them got the money, so they don't care. Whatever government coming, it doesn't matter to them. They will survive. However, when things are not going right, then they start casting blame of who's responsible and what have you. Okay, and the other category, according to him, is the poor people that don't have nothing but yet still refuse to participate because they don't believe that they have anything to give. And let me end on this story that I always give. And this story is very important for me. And I try to demonstrate that here in my own community, because first thing is, I do not see myself to try to run for any of the community position anymore. Because first thing, nobody will vote for me anyway. But the second thing is, I'm not at age that requires young people, because once you take those positions, you have to be energetic, be involved. Right now, as soon as I leave from here, I eat something, I go and watch TV. The next thing that tomorrow morning for me, I'm getting eye again. Okay, so how am I going to lead any organization? But what I try to do and what I insist that people of my generation try to do to these young people is to continue to encourage them. Don't, even if they're doing something that is not right, be truthful, but not to degrade. And that's what I try to stay away from. And so I'm engaged with most of these people. Okay, and so in the story that I want to leave you with right now is mommy, I don't have that. Just tell you the story. Anyway, when I was grown up then, but I wasn't a real man yet. I was getting to be man, but I was not man yet. But I was on my own. But when I mean man, children everywhere. Yeah, I can call my son out to take off my shoes. I'm a man. But I couldn't do those days because I'm waiting for Friday to come so I can go to EJ Raw. You see what I mean? Okay. But young adult, let's put it out. But anyway, on my way from Total one time, and on this bus, coming, we passed Tabata, we passed Groy, I believe was between Groy and Secretary area. Boom, tire flat. I'll make it short this time around. Tire flat, the driver said, okay, I don't have a jack. But we can sit here when the car comes from Secretary going to Groy or going to Tabata. I will send my car ball, and he goes over there and get a jack, and then find another car that will be going back to Secretary or Ganta, and he stop here and we can change the thing. The point was, we're going to be here for a while. Every one of us that was on that bus, we have a destination. We all wanted to get to a particular place at a particular time. None of us have it in mind to go and sleep on the road. When I left Total that afternoon, it wasn't my intent to sleep on the road. My intent was to sleep in Monrovia. And in fact, I have issue with Groy because as a young man, little boy growing up with my mom, myself traveling, they several times put people on the ground until you can show head tag. So I have that bad experience. By the way, so what I did was I see people. Look, we all have place to go. We're all men here. Let's lift this car because the guy have a rich nut where the one you can loosen the tire nuts with. Say, let's lift this car. The guy already loosened the thing, lift it up. The guy remove the flat tire, put this spare tire on there, tighten it, and we'll be out of here. At first, I was getting a little bit resistant, like the other people. My man, I don't want my bike to hurt me. But after they find out that the idea makes sense because the people want to leave. We all came one side, lifted the car. The guy pulled the tire up, put the tire back on, the other tire on, tightened it, and we're out of there. Why was it that everyone agreed to do it? Because we all have one single goal, and that goal was to get out of that place and go to our destination. It's the same thing in a group setting. It's the same thing in community. It's the same thing in country. What exactly do we want out of Liberia as a group? Where do we want to take Liberia? And once those things, I believe strongly that once those things are clearly defined among ourselves with a clear understanding that every one of us have to go and do this together, Not one individual can do it. Not one political party can do it. Once we have that clear understanding, to move that country forward is nothing. It's not much. But if we all, when I suggested that, other people say, okay, y'all go lift, I will lift the front. Other men say, no, I will lift the bike. Other men say, I will lift the other side. How are we going to lift the car? The tire on this side, on the right side, and people all over the place trying to lift the car up. The strength that are going to be required to lift the car from one side is easier than it is to put ourselves all around the car and lift the whole car up. That wasn't going to be possible. Well, it is possible, but that wasn't the intent. So when people realize that, okay, we all can put ourselves together here and lift this, we can do it. The same type of behavior happening, I don't know about you, but in my own setting, in my own dialect, in my own community, we have those kinds of stuff. Twice I've seen it when I was little. One, there was a gentleman, and I'll call the town name, Blown Town. There was a gentleman from Blown Town. Because Blown Town is my mom's town, so I grew up in that area. I go there all the time, but that particular time I was there. So this guy, finished brushing the farm, but he was cutting the stick, falling, not with axe, cutting the BB stick down, tree, logs, whatever you want to call it. In the process, his young daughter, I think most likely she was like maybe 12, 13 years old the most. She was taking food to the father. And usually and that's why when the women get to the farm, the edge of the farm, they yell, ooh, something like that. So the person will know that somebody is coming. But what did the little girl know? She went, when she got to this particular spot, the tree was falling at the same time, killed her. Sad story. But the town people decided, no, that's not going to be the end of it. We're going to make sure this guy's place is clear within 1 day time. The chief in our town made it known to all the young men, to all the capable men. We're going on our farm tomorrow, and we're going to knock all the trees down. They went, knock it down. Another one that happened was in Town Town. There was a lady, my auntie, her husband in Monrovia in the army, so she would come home from time to time to make farm. But her brother that was in charge was brushing, and he went to cut this bamboo something, and just chop it, and it went straight on his foot, and he couldn't do anything else. And the town people, my uncle Omeke, they called people and said, we're not gonna let it happen. All the bush fire. At the time, I really saw that people can brush. There was no question asked. The old man then that couldn't do anything, they went on the other side of the bush, and they were sinking, calling and look, folks, these things sometimes it's difficult to see it here in the United States. But if you were somebody that grew up in a village, you will understand what I'm talking. There's this one guy that can sing. And the guy, all you have to do is stay on the other side with a horn. Boom, boom, call. He will call your father's name, call your grandfather's name, call your great-grandfather's name, how good they are, and how warrior they were, and how beautiful women they have, and all that kind of stuff. By the time he gets to your name, even, I call it wax, you can grab the wax and want to eat it, because that's how your spirit in you. You don't know what's going on with you. But anyway, the people won't finish that. The point that I'm trying to make here, and I'll close now, is that Liberia, we have to understand, even if we don't speak the same dialect. You want to come to America from Liberia, you got to go through the airport or go other places. But once you leave Liberia, it doesn't mean they're going to script Liberia out for you. It's your country. We have to work together. Nothing else. Nothing else. You want to beat your own drum? That's fine. But for me, unity drum. Samson told LeBron Public Radio. Folks, it's been a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful evening. We say thank you very much. again, folks. Samson told LIBERIA Public. I want to thank all of you again this evening for joining us here. What we have to be. We've been here for quite a while. But I want to thank you very much for joining us here. What we have here. This is a platform, intellectual platform, where we come to discuss issues. And hopefully we will understand that you, as an audience, we're trying our best to convince you. We don't say agree with us, but give us the opportunity to express ourselves. What we talk about here, folks, is not to degrade people, but be truthful. Be truthful. As long as we come out here and face the camera, we must be truthful. Because that's about the only way we're going to move out and be able to achieve a lot. We're Liberians. We're Liberians. We work hard. Look at yourself. Look at the condition you're in. When you came in this country, most likely you didn't come here with $500-600 in your pocket. But look at you now. Master degree, PhD, working in the area, controlling some of these people's finances. Unbelievable. Hard work. As hard worker as you are, why is it? Why is it that because you as a hard worker, you don't have to go to school, but you come in this country, even if you have no education, you come here and still do good. You stay and build houses back home. You stay here and do a lot of stuff back home. Why? Why? Why when you got here, you didn't say, you know what, I'm just going to stop and go to club and things like that. But you decide to build Mama Liberia. Because why? You love Liberia. Let's work together. Samson Toll, good night, folks.
Onana ayama lokolo mwane sikulo mwa yepoza ne gripu ya mole u lokolo tolie bolu suku ogere yo omo ya lokolo gete so angane mbeyo tolie bolu suku ona veri yo Onana ayama lokolo mwane sikulo mwa yepoza ne gripu ya mole u lokolo tolie bolu